questions about this today idea? Yeah.
I have not understand. The Siddhanta that is given to a sadhaka is an expansion from Radharani's body?
No, it's not. The expansion from Krishna's body. Only the Nitya Parishads are Kaya Vyuha Radharani. I mean, the ones that are Sakhis. Asta Sakhis, Manjaris, they're expansions from Radharani. It's called Kaya Vyuha. Kaya Vyuha. Kaya means body, Vyuha means expansion. Kaya Vyuha, a form of expansion from Radharani. This third canto of Bhagavatam, 15th chapter, 14th verse, says, Vasanti Vaikuntha Murti. Vasanti, this verse starts, Vasanti Vaikuntha Murti. There's so many murtis, so many spiritual forms directly expanded from Vishnu and Vaikuntha, or from Krishna and Vrindavan. No one becomes Salita Sakhi or Rupa Manjari. Any other question? Yeah.
Is the Svarup is us as a form of a manjari? Every has the individual Svarup. But if, for example, my Svarup is a manjari, then my question is the form of my soul a manjari, or is the form of the manjari and my soul, is it two or is it one?
It's two. Because it's the Shakti, I mean, it's mixture of Shaktis. Well, like he said, Satyaran said there's no duality, so when you say two, it means duality. It's a oneness of Shaktis. That's why, like the analogy is iron. When you take an iron rod, iron rod, put it in fire, and it gets red hot, and looks like fire. But you can see it's surrounded by flames. It's surrounded by fire. It's red in color. It's blazing hot, and it's giving off light. But in there somewhere there's a piece of iron. But they're one. What's the difference between the iron and the fire? They're one. So there's no difference between the Manjari Swarup of the Atma and the Antaranga Shakti that makes the Manjari Swarup. Manjari Swarup is Antaranga Shakti, but it becomes one with the Atma. So there's no duality there. You're I am, like I am Atma, me Jivatma Hum. I am Jivatma, but there your identities are I'm so and so Kinkri, so and so Dasi. The Manjari Swarup, it's made of it. It's called Baba Maya Dea. That's what he uses. Made of Bab. Like Radharani's Mahabhav Swarupini, she's made of Mahabhav. So we're also made of Bab. It's Supreme Dea. It's not made of bones and all this stuff, but it has shape, has form, has spiritual mind, spiritual intelligence, everything's there. But so this mixture of these two energies make one entity called the Manjari. Antaranga Shakti and Tatastha Shakti. It's not you say thinking one time, I'm Tatastha Shakti or Antaranga Shakti? You don't have there's no schizophrenia in the spiritual world. No people have split personalities. Am I Antaranga or am I Antaranga or am I Tatastha? I don't know. I'm in the border of both. I don't know. It's the iron rod, fire. The iron rod's iron rod, but it's a fire rod, fire iron rod. So you're a Manji. You're right, Shah. Welcome. Jai Sri Radhe. Jai Ho. Sri Ji. You made it. You're alive.
I'm still alive.
Yeah, you're a cat with 9 lives, they say. Oh, my. Some bad stars for you these days. Boy, oh boy. Nice to see it, really. So all this, tattva and philosophy, when you get there, you're going to be in a beautiful manjari, say Nitya Seda or Krishna, and get on with it. There's no philosophy up there. Gopis aren't philosophers, they're lovers of Krishna and servants of Radharani. Here we crack our head with all this stuff. But there we crack almonds and serve Krishna. There's no tension. Okay, now what do we have? Questions and answers. Huh? Okay. Questions? Sorry, yeah.
Maharaj, right now you told us that in context of Markandeya Rishi, that was asked if every jiva was liberated, then what will happen? And you told that there will always be jiva because jivas are in inactivated form in Mahavishnu, so they will come in the material world. So,
because the word Shristi is generally, we say Shristi Palaya. Creation, dissolution, or pralaya means flood, or dissolution, destruction, creation, destruction. But it's not, that's the wrong term, because Shristi means manifestation, and the word Shristi also means emit. Like the sun doesn't create sun rays, it emits sun rays. The sun is full of all kinds of atomic fusion going on there, and for eternal time the sun's emitting sun rays. It's not creating sun rays, it's just made of fire, emitting sun rays forever. So Vishnu, Mahavishnu has unlimited, Ananta Rupa means he has unlimited forms inside of jivas, and Shristi means he emits them when needed. So whenever you need some, okay, emits them. It's like a cobra. A cobra has so much venom inside, he spits it, he produces it, he spits it. He can spit it or he can bite you and inject it to you. So he can make it. He keeps making it.
but how are the karmas like beginningless if the jivas are being emanated from Mahavishnu, like if everyone is liberated?
Karma, there's no beginning, so karmas are eternal, the jiva is eternal. There's, like what came first? Yeah, that's like asking a question. Well, who's the origin of God? Everything begins with God. Well, who started God? This. I don't know the answer. When does karma start? Karma is eternally existing in the material world. Like Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he always used to say, you're in a house that's burning. What's the most important thing to do? To figure out, to sit down with 2 or 3 friends in different apartments, get in the hallway, your apartment's on fire, so 3 guys sit in the hallway and say, listen, where do you think it started? I think it started in the basement. No, I think it started in the elevator shaft. No, I think it started in the stairway. I think somebody arson threw a firebomb. And one guy comes, what are you guys talking about? We're trying to figure out how it started. Get out and leave, the floor's going to cave in. The floor is caving in. The floor underneath our feet is falling, it's caving in and crashing down. It's not the time to figure out. So some things are just like, who cares, You gotta have a phrase, they say, a fool can ask more questions than a wise man can answer. So we can answer a million questions. Well, let's get down to the business at hand. There's the Bhagavatam, the sages has 6 questions. They're sages, they have big brains, they have huge brains, and rishis and brahmins and power personalities. They only ask 6 questions to Sutta Goswami. 6 questions. That's it. The Bhagavatam is the answer to 6 questions. One question, what's the most essential thing for someone to do who's about to die? The most essential thing is to serve Krishna. To serve Krishna. Fast. Nam Lao. Nirantara Nam Lao. Without cessation, take the name. Nirantara Nam Lao. Question. What was that? Was that a question? Question.
So Maharaj,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So you are mentioned just spiritual body in our Swarupa in spiritual world. So when Gurudev gave to us spiritual body, at that time spiritual world we are there in that kind of dormant state, and if we realize this kind of activated, or I could not catch your explanation. This is
The question is asked: the spiritual body is in the spiritual world, and one becomes liberated, or he gets because the Bhagavatam explains how different personalities attain perfection in their sadhana bhakti, sadhana bhajan, and they were awarded and given and received and given a spiritual body directly by Vishnu or Krishna in the case of Brajlila, like Putana, etc. Agasura, Putana, others. So that spiritual body is described that it's there, but it's not activated. Not activated. It's not. You can't say dormant. It's there. It's described that spiritual bodies are beautifying the land of Vrindavan. It's kind of like a rich man has statues in his garden, statues of Devis, water coming out of Devi's head or something like that. Or, whatever. Some or dolphins, water coming out of the mouth, a water fountain. So they're beautifying the spiritual world. And when the Guru gets revealed as Siddhanta and gives it to the disciple, now the disciple, when he does meditation, to the time the devotee is doing meditation and doing service, the spiritual body is activated.
The question arises, before Guru gives Swarupa, still that is existed, or Guru gave at that time kind of.
What's the question? Does it exist? It exists, yes.
Exist before Gurudev given to disciple.
Yes. Gurudev sees it, that's how he gets it.
Gurudev sees this.
Yeah.
But at that time not activated.
I think when the Guru gets revealed, when the Samasti Guru reveals Siddhanta of the disciple, the Guru sees the Siddhanta, gets a clear picture of the Siddhanta from Super Soul and from Guru Parampara and Samasti Guru, and gives it to the disciple. Now when the disciple starts to meditate and do Astakala Smaran and Seva Radharani in the Astakala in the Siddhanta, then at that time, the time of Lila Smaran and meditation and Manasi Seva, at that time the Siddhanta is moving and activated. It's kind of like you go to a car agency, you rent a car. You rent a car and you drive it around all of Russia for 5 days and bring it back and park it. Or you park it in your hotel, the next morning you get in the car and drive again. So whenever you're meditating, the spiritual body is activated. When you're not, it's not activated. It's just waiting for you. Because unless you're mixed in it, it's not going to work. Because it's your spiritual body. No one else is going to drive your car. You have the keys.
So car exists before.
Huh?
Even Gurudev gives the Swarupa Vesh. Still, that car means spiritual body exists. No?
Yeah, it's there.
There.
That's the amazing thing. That's the most startling thing that exists. That I think that I'm there. What am I waiting for? But suicide is not acceptable. But what happens is that advanced devotees that come to Baba and praying, they feel so much separation from Radha and Krishna, so much viraha, that they give up the body out of love and separation. Just like King Dasarath. King Dasarath gave up his body in love and separation. Ram was banished to the forest by Kaikeyi's blessing or whatever, curse, whatever it was. And, so after Ram left the palace, Dasarath died. He just died. He was young, he was a healthy person. He had 365 queens. He wasn't weak, he was a strong person. 365 wives of Dasarath. That's a strong guy. And then he died on the spot, pain of love and separation. So the great saints, they give up their body out of separation. So the body, we have a spiritual body in a spiritual world. And as soon as we sit down and meditate, we're in the spiritual world, we're in our spiritual body. And that's why devotees don't like to stop meditating. Because they have, we have this material body which needs to be bathed and fed and cleaned and washed and all this stuff, so you have to come back. Somebody has to take care of it. Otherwise, the bliss and joy of meditating on Leela and your Swarup is so consuming and satisfying that you forget about everything else. Time gets lost to a devotee in that situation. That's the beautiful gift of Mahaprabhu, the Siddha Swarup, the Manjari Swarup the Guru gives to do bhajan and we have identity there, we have individual identity there, we have a place there, we have a savior there, we have friends there, we have a family there. Everything is there. It's Nara Leela. It's like human Leela. We have a Yuteshwari, we have a Mukhya Manjari, we have our Guru Manjari and our Guru Sakhi Parampara. It's the whole family. 15 Sakhis in our family, Miya family, and then the Sakhis, Manjaris. Dwarapalis and we got Radha Krishna, we got a whole gang there. We have a family about 50, 60 people, that's it, boss. Finished. Our spiritual world has 60 people in it. Maybe 100, 108, maybe. Yashodananda, a few extra. Madhamango, Subal, Sridham, throw in a few here or there. But not more than a couple hundred of us. Imagine living in a village in India with 200 people. Some people grew up like that, I grew up in Haryana in a little village, 200 people. It's so nice, or Bengal or something. Village life can be really nice, a nice village. Everybody loves each other, everybody helps each other. But he grew up in a village, he tells me all about the glories of village life. So that's an earth planet which is full of birth and death and disease and greed and envy and anger and lust and all this stuff. And there's happiness in village life. It's small family life in a village, in the country. So what's it like in Vrindavan? The ideal country. Spiritual world, it's Prem Dham, Vrindavan. There's no envy, no greed, no lust, no no no's. It's all yeses. There's no negativity there. It's all positive. Positive plane of bliss and joy and seva and love and giving and appreciation, understanding, compassion, friendship. Wow. Want to go? Okay, let's go.
So Maharaj, that means our say all jiva when Mahaprabhu, after Mahaprabhu coming here like us, like someone want to Manjari Baba. That is only fixed kind of what I say some already particular Baba.
Can't understand the question.
So like say if our spiritual body already in spiritual
No, you're getting confused. You're confused. You're asking a question if our spiritual body is already there. Means you already have a fixed dairati.
Yes.
No, the jiva doesn't have a fixed dairati. You're misunderstanding. There are unlimited. The third canto, chapter 15, verse 14, which is described in Anucheda number 10 in Priti Sandarbha, and commentaries by different acharyas are there also. And Das Babaji also comments. He explains there's unlimited spiritual bodies emanating from Vishnu and Vaikuntha and Krishna and Vrindavan, Goloka Vrindavan. But they're not designated. This one's for this jiva in Japan, this one's for this jiva in Russia, this is for a guy from Faridabad. It's not individually designated. Any jiva, that's why Lord Chaitanya came, because any jiva can become a manjari, every jiva. There's no stairati of the jiva. But there's manjari fruits are there. Like anybody can buy a Ferrari if he has the money. Anybody goes in the show, there's 100 in the parking lot of the Ferrari dealer, there's 100 Ferraris. Anybody go and buy one of them. There's not one of them is yours until you put the money down and then it's yours.
I see. Just like buy some kind of buy the body or kind of.
The stairati, first of all, the stairati means individual, a permanent, eternal loving mood towards Krishna, to serve Krishna in particular loving mood of Sekirati, of Vatsalyarati, Madhurirati, Dasyarati, Shantarati. And then Brajrati and Vrindavan, the same ratis are there, but you attain those ratis. So how do you get a stairati? That's the question. You get a stairati by diksha from the Guru. The Guru gives a stairati to the disciple through the mantra and through his kripa and his teaching. Then you accept it, that becomes your stairati. If you reject it, like some people have come to Gaudiya Vaishnavism and with Manjari Bab, and they left Gaudiya Vaishnava and they went to Nimbark because somehow they didn't like this idea of Manjari Bab. I have a friend who was Prabhupada disciple. He went to Nimbark. He wanted to be a Sakhi. He wanted Sakhi Bab. So he went to Nimbark. I had somebody else who wanted Dasya Rasa, Krishna Vaikuntha. He went to Madhva Sampradaya. They worship Krishna Vaikuntha without Radharani. So he went there because he was presented the Gaudiya conception and he got mantras in the Gaudiya mission and the Gaudiya Sampradaya, but he didn't like this opportunity. It didn't sit with his individuality. That's called Gata Samskara. Gata Samskara, which means some latent or some samskara that one has from last life. From last life you met a guru. Last life you met a guru and he gave you mantra and gave you diksha and he gave you stairati last life. So you may meet a guru this life and it doesn't agree with that stairati, but you don't know what your stairati is. You don't really know your stairati until you come to Baba. Then you can see it and feel it and everything. But generally the 1861 Gita 1861 Gita, what does it say? Ishvara sarvabhutana hridesha juna tishati brahmayan sarvabhutana yanshridaya maya. The Krishna is in the heart of every living entity, directing the wanderings of the jiva. The jivas are going here and there, and the yantra hridaya maya. This is made of Mayic energy, a yantra, a machine, and Bhagavan's directing. So someone is directed, because not every jiva is come and Gaudiya Sampradaya. So jivas, they come to Gaudiya Sampradaya. Most of 99% of them are in Braj Bhakti, and most 99% of them are in Madhurya Rati and Manjari Bhav. Because that's the basic gift of Lord Chaitanya is Manjari Bhav and Madhurya Rati. So Gaudiya Sampradaya means that. It means Raganuga Bhakti, become a Manjari Maidser and Radharani. Radhasyam. So Krishna knows. Krishna knows past, present, and future. Krishna knows what our destiny is, so he directs us appropriately. So it's very rare that someone comes to Gaudiya Sampradaya and goes somewhere else. Sairati is given by Guru, and the Guru gives a Siddhanta, and then you do meditation, and then that Siddhanta that he gives you will be given to you directly by Krishna. This is described in 3rd Canto Bhagavatam, chapter 9, verse 11. And other places, so many other places. What you meditate on, that's what you receive.
Because you mentioned before Gurudev gives the Manjari Baba, still spiritual existing. So therefore I little bit confusing.
Yeah, the spiritual body is in the spiritual world. It's eternal. It doesn't create. It's nitya.
Nitya, not created.
There's that beautiful girl out there.
So like I say, we have come shopping. So say like kind of this clothes is there, already clothes is there. So and then say Gurudev say, oh, you can have this, this you can wear this clothes. Yeah, this form. It's kind of conception is wrong. Because already there, some kind of.
Yeah. Siddha is nitya, it's eternal. And each jiva, there's one for every jiva. If a jiva becomes a sadhana siddha in his bhakti bhajan, it will be given one of those eternal siddhas in the spiritual world will be given to the devotee. Given to that sadhana siddha bhakta by Krishna or by Guru. And Gaudiya Sampradaya is given by Guru, and then later that is revealed to the sadhaka by Krishna at the level of Baba. You'll see it. This is me. Finally found out who I am. Who am I? Radha Swami. Okay. Questions? Yes. Okay.
Maharaj,
Uh,
and we have foreigners' material body. My question is that, can we get perfection out of Vrindavan?
well, I can hear a question.
Can we get perfection out of Vrindavan?
Staying outside. If we get to die, at that time, out of Vrindavan, is this possible to get perfection Manjari?
Questions. If we If we die outside Vrindavan, can we still get perfection? Of course. It depends on where your consciousness is, that's what you get. That's what 8th chapter of Gita, verse 6 is all about. Whatever you remember at the time of death, that's what you attain. So remembering your Swarup and your Guru's Swarup and Radharani, then you attain Radharani and Krishna in the spiritual world. The spiritual world is everywhere. Vrindavan is not only here, it's everywhere. Ananta Vivu Ananta Sarvagata Vivu Ananta Upari. It's in the Hari Katha chapter 5, verse 23. describes where is Vaikuntha, where is Vrindavan, where is the spiritual world. Sarva Katha, it's everywhere. It's right, it's left, it's up, it's down. It's Vibhu, it's great, it's Ananta, it's unlimited. Sarva Katha, Vibhu, Ananta, Upari. Upari means it's up, it's Upari means it's down. It's everywhere. Spiritual, everyone always says, the Uberwala. Bhagavan's Uberwala. He's the Nietzsche wala also. He's a Dynawala, he's a Bayawala, he's Antarwala, Bahirwala, Bitarwala, he's every wala. The Vrindavan is everywhere.
Yeah, because many Siddha Babajis never leave Vrindavan, and I feel, oh, I really not qualified, that's why we have to stay out of Vrindavan. If we really qualify to become Radha Rasi, Radha automatically catch us in Vrindavan. That's why many Babajis, Siddhas never leave Vrindavan. Even though Siddhas are never leave Vrindavan, how possible in foreign countries to get?
Yeah, that's the thing. Don't leave Vrindavan. No, that's not, the better way to say is don't let Vrindavan leave you. Your body may go anywhere according to your destiny, but don't let Vrindavan leave you. If you have a t-shirt, I left my heart in Vrindavan, how is it possible? If Vrindavan enters your heart, then that's better. You should, Vrindavan's entered my heart. You should wear a t-shirt like that. Think Vrindavan, dream Vrindavan, speak Vrindavan, meditate on Vrindavan, go to Vrindavan. When you take the Taj Express from Nizamuddin train station, New Delhi, Taj Express goes New Delhi to Agra. It's a fast train in the morning, hour and 40 minutes, sometimes faster. And when you get out of the Mathura Junction train station, when I came in 1977, the first time, there were no auto rickshaws, there was tungas. Tunga means horse carts. And the horse cart drivers were competing for passengers. They would walk by where the train people come out, the passengers come out of the train station. They say, Vrindavan, Vrindavan, Vrindavan. They say 3 times, Vrindavan, Vrindavan, Vrindavan. They say, yeah, Vrindavan, Vrindavan. I used to, my most favorite mantra to hear. I left New York City in January, freezing cold winter, and get to Delhi, it's a hot day, and end of January. It was warm already by that time, getting warmer compared to, it was 20 below zero in New York when I left. And Vrindavan, 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 I said, yeah, Vrindavan, Vrindavan. Just the word Vrindavan is like music to my ears, you know. We take it for granted when we're here, but when you're out of Vrindavan, stuck away some far away place, you think, how am I ever going to get back to Vrindavan? Oh Krishna, what evil deeds, what terrible karma I've done to be so far away from Vrindavan. Please help me, please be merciful to me, please bring me back to Vrindavan. Once you tasted the Vrindavan, like to talk about Delhi Kaladu, sorry Kaladu, Delhi Kaladu, whatever it's called. Once you taste the Vrindavan, then you can never be the same. Nothing can replace the taste of Vrindavan. Taste is getting a little harder to taste as time goes on, but the taste is still profound and transcendental and otherworldly. It came 1977 first time, 45 years ago, 46 years ago. It was a different Vrindavan then, but the taste is still the same. You have the guy in Chandi Chowk has been making jalebis since 1815. The sign on the shop says, Agarwal Jalebi Shop, founded 1815, or 1715, I think. 1715. Jalebis taste the same. They taste the same now as they did in 1715. So Vrindavan always tastes the same. It's always a jalebi, Hot jalebi on a cold winter day, huh? That's what we want. You go and go around frequent and you stop, give me some hot jalebis. Because it says in Hari Bhakti Vilas, if you eat food that's fried in oil or ghee, you don't get any karma. Yeah, it says that. Karma goes in grains, especially rice grains, rice. But they serve puris on Giraj Prikama puris and halva puris and sabji. But if it's cooked in ghee, then there's no karma. No karma transfer of the cook is consciousness or lack of consciousness. So I just eat fried food everywhere. Check a checkbook. Pakoras, French fries. Puris, jalebis, gulab jamuns. Good stuff. Okay, let's sober up a little bit here. That's too crazy. Questions?
So Maharaj, so usually like Baba meditate Ashtakara Lila. That is considered in a Nitya Lila in Goloka Vrindavan. Is it right?
Yes.
And also some people say in Goloka only say some people say Goloka is Swakya Rasa. Also no Parakya Rasa. But actually, both rasa is existing. Is it also true? In spiritual world, some devotees say, spiritual world only Swakya rasa. But some people say, no, actually there is Parakya rasa.
Anyway, the question is, in Goloka Vrindavan, is there, some people are saying there's only Swakya or Parakya or whatever. Parakya is only in the Boma Vrindavan, Prakat Lila of Krishna, and not in the Aprakat Lila, Goloka Vrindavan, in the spiritual world, is Swakya. But there's in the Ujjvala Nilamani, there's a 45-page commentary, 45-page commentary by Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur that explains the existence of Parakya Bhav in the spiritual world of Goloka Vrindavan.
Which book?
Ujjvala Nilamani. It's in the beginning. I forget exactly where. It's in the beginning part of the book. It's 40-page. Mahanidhi Swami translated in English. 40-page Tika commentary, explaining the existence of Parakya Bhav in the spiritual world of Goloka Vrindavan. Because all the leelas in the material world and the spiritual world are eternal. So Krishna has Parakya Bhav here at Radharani, and he also has there. But of course you have to understand there's two aspects of Goloka Vrindavan. There's Aishwarya Goloka and there's Madhurya Goloka. So in Aishwarya Goloka you have this marriage at Bandiravan, Brahma marrying Krishna and Radharani. And all this is describing Garga Samhita and other shastras. That's describing Aishwarya Goloka Vrindavan. But this is not the Goloka Vrindavan that's showed in the material world, in this world. When Krishna comes to this world, he brings the Madhurya Goloka Vrindavan. He manifests in the Prakat Vrindavan in the material world. That's why it's a drama, it's a play. He goes to Bandiravan and he pretends to marry Radharani. And Brahma acts as the officiating priest of the marriage, Vivaha Yagya. Just to enact that lila, to give some people that want to say that Krishna is married some proof that he's married. But the Gaudiya conception our acharyas present The Krishna's is eternally Parakiya relationship in Askala Lila. We worship Krishna in Parakiya Askala Lila. Krishna is not married in Goloka Vrindavan. There's another outer part of the spiritual world called Mathuradam. In Mathuradam, Krishna's married to Rukmini. He marries in some Puranas and some Kalvas. Krishna marries Rukmini. The first queen he marries in Mathura. Another Kalvas he marries her in Dwarka Lila. So that's not Goloka Vrindavan. That's the spiritual world, but that's nearby. Different Parakosha, different area, different compartment. Is that clear?
Yes,
Questions?
We have from internet questions.
Internet questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is possible to rectify our offenses and sins all by chanting. This means maybe japa, I don't know.
Questions asked from internet. Is it possible to remove our offenses by chanting? Well, there's different kinds of offenses. Save aparadhs can be removed by chanting japa, and nam aparadhs can be removed by chanting japa. More and more japa, you can remove nam aparadhs and save aparadhs. The Vaishnava aparadhs can only be removed by the mercy of the Vaishnava, by getting forgiveness from the Vaishnava you have offended. That's a pretty simple question.
And another questions from internet.
Okay.
What is the difference between lobha and mohi?
Excuse me?
What's the difference between lobha and mohi? Lobha and moha.
What's the difference between lobha and moha? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Lobha means greed. Moha means illusion. So you're too greedy, you go on illusion. What's the difference between lobha and moha? The question was, we say kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. These are different coverings of the living entity, anarthas of the living entity. Lust, anger, greed, envy, madness, illusion, madness. Illusion means accepting what is unreal to be real. So accepting a material body to be real and be my real identity, that's moha, that's illusion. Lobha means greed. Greed to enjoy things when we're not the enjoyer. We're Nitya Sthira Krishna. Jivara Swarupaya Krishna Nityadas. Our nature is to serve. That's the true lakshana of the jiva. We're not enjoyers. Enjoyers have to be greedy because they have to fulfill their senses. And the senses are always asking for sense enjoyment, which means we have to express lobha, greed, and desire for sense objects to satisfy our senses. So lobha is an anartha to be removed by bhakti bhajan.
And Six Goswami describing any stage of Lobha?
Lobha means he means Lobha here, greed for like Raganuga Bhakti. That's right.
Raganuga Bhakti.
Mama Samai.
What's the question? Wait, wait a second.
Modification. Steps, levels.
What's the question?
Are there any levels of Lobha? Greed for, yes.
Yeah. Any levels? Even if Goswami described this kind of stage.
So you're talking about the eligibility to begin or practice Raganuga Bhakti. Is that the question?
Maybe. doesn't say
Isn't
exactly.
that question which is not very clearly presented?
That's
Okay, let's assume that's the question. If you want to start practicing Raganuga Bhakti, Bhakti Rasamrita says you need greed, and then it says how do you get greed? You get greed by the mercy of Krishna or devotee. Then what does greed mean? So now and then the question is, are there different degrees of greed? And the answer is yes, there's different degrees of greed. But the beginning point to begin practice Raganuga Bhakti is called kinsha lobha. It means a little greed. You have a little interest. When you read different leelas around Krishna, about coward boys or Mother Yashoda and Makan Chor Leela and all these different things, and you read different leelas and you like one particular leela, you're attracted, you have some interest in one leela, that indicates some greed for that stairati. Or you see murtis depicting Krishna stealing butter out of a pot, and your heart goes to that and feels attracted. That maybe indicates some greed for Vatsalya Ras. So there's different indicators which indicate the awakening of greed to worship Krishna, following the footsteps of a particular Brijvasi. So it can come in degrees, but it can start as soon as you have some interest. It says kinsha means a little, means very, very insignificant amount. Because as you know about something more, you become more familiar with it, and then you become more greedy for it. The more you learn about something, the more you learn and the more you experience. When you like Madhurya Rati, of Radha Krishna's amorous affairs in Vrindavan, then you read about the amorous pastimes around Krishna, and it satisfies your heart and mind and intelligence. And it creates you get attracted. The more you read, the more you get attracted. The more you get attracted, the more you get attached. The more you get attached, the more greedy you have to hear more and read more. So it increases more and more. But so your Raganuga Bhakti becomes more and more absorbed. In the beginning you meditate a little bit, or not much, and more and more. You read. Sometimes you get to a point where you're always hearing Hari Katha about Radha Krishna Gopis. Always hearing about them, speaking about them, writing about them.
Same person asked again. Can we comprehend the tattva, the Lord, His lila, with our intellect just?
Can we understand Krishna tattva, the Siddhanta, spiritual reality and philosophical truths of Krishna and his transcendental leelas with our material intelligence? That's all we got. We can understand by mercy of Krishna. Bhakti mama vijanati yavanyashasmi tatvata. Another verse, Bhagavad Gita. Bhakti mama vijanati yavanyashasmi tatvata. Anyway, the Gita, Krishna says, by bhakti, by devotion, you can understand the truth of Krishna. So you use your intellect blessed by Krishna and Guru, with mercy of Guru and Krishna, then you can understand the tattva and leelas of Krishna that are revealed to you by mercy of Krishna. Okay, I'm trying to stop this thing. It doesn't stop. Okay, now it's stopped. Now it's stopped. Good question. Yes.
I would like to know if his sadhaka achieve his goal, his sadhya, and become a manjari, why he has or she has to born in Prakat Lila and then go to Aprakat Lila. I read that in, I don't know if it's in Prem Bhakti Chandrika or, is that correct?
Question is asked, when a Gaudiya Vaishnava sadhaka attains prema and perfection, it's told in Raghavartman and Chandrika, and it's mentioned in commentaries of Anantadas and Prem Bhakti Chandrika, that the sadhaka has to take birth in Boma Vrindavan from the womb of a gopi and grow up, because he has to develop different sensitivities and different types of bhavas and different types of levels of prem in order to be qualified and fit to serve Radha and Krishna in their amorous pastimes, Madhurya Rati, Sneha, Man, Pranaya, Raga, Anuraga, etc. Is that true? That's true. That's what's being told and what's being preached in the last 200 years by most Gaudiya Vaishnavas. But there's also another alternative, which the 6 Goswamis write that if you attain prema, you can go directly to the Lila. So there's 2 options there. So you have to clarify the option with your personal guru, which idea he ascribes to. Most of the contemporary traditional Gaudiya Vaishnava acharyas will tell you that you have to take birth in the earth planet where Krishna's pastimes are being manifest, called Prakat Lila of Krishna, and for further training. And then you go. But the Bhagavatam, the conclusion of Bhagavad Tattva, the Bhagavatam, everyone got to sit there, went right to the Lila. Narada Muni, first canto, chapter 6, verse 28, 29. Vishnu bought the Siddhanta from Vishnuloka, gave it to him, and then he started to save it. He didn't take birth somewhere. So it's your choice. So if you just have your Siddhanta has to be given by Guru, but if you have a Guru, you should ask your Guru what is his conclusion of this tattva.
Sorry, I have another question.
Okay, wait, let me make a new file. Can I make one file for questions?
It's about why are differences between Advaita Parivar and Nityananda Parivar about Gaur Lila being Prakat Lila or Aprakat Lila, not Nitya Navadvip. And what about the
What you tell me the specific differences, and I'll address the differences. What are those differences? I don't know.
There is no eternal Navadvip Lila. Gauranga is.
What's your actual question? What do you want to say?
If all Gaudiya Vaishnavas should meditate in 2 bodies, 2 Siddhadekas, Manjari Bhav or as a Brahmin with
That's not true.
It's not true.
The devotee is presenting the idea that he said that all Gaudiya Vaishnavas meditate on 2 srups, one in Gaur Lila, one in Krishna Lila. This is not true. Many do. This whole idea of dual worship was introduced in 1860 by Siddha Krishnadas. And it was picked up by many members of Nityananda Parivar, but not all Parivars, not all traditional Parivars follow this line of thought. That's the first correction. Worshipping because the other thing that's interesting, they say the people in Nityananda Parivar that talk about meditating Nitya Askala Lila, Gauranga, they don't give us Siddhanta and Gaur Lila. They just give a generic meditation. Think of yourself as a Kaishore Brahmin boy. They don't give you a name, they don't give you Ekadash Bhav in Gaur Lila. And Gaur Lila is not described anywhere in any book. It's in a Goloka, it's in a spiritual world. It's only in the material world. Nowhere in Goswami books, nowhere in Upanishads, nowhere, anywhere in Puranas. You can't find anywhere a description of Navadvip Leela in the spiritual world. It's Nitya in the Maya Jagat. This is a statement of even Narottam. No one says there's no Narottam, Vishwanath. No one says there's Gaur Leela in the spiritual world. They talk about Gaur Leela in this world. Being a Gaudiya Vaishnava means you have to worship Gauranga, the Panchatattva, and meditate and yoga pit and many things maybe you do. You know, we're Gaudiya Vaishnavas. We're not, even way to Parivara, we're doing so much absorption and meditation, but we don't ascribe to this idea of two swarups. Because this is not taught by Rupa Goswami. He talks about one swarup and Seva Sadak Rupena Sirupena Chatri. Sirupena is in singular. Sirupena, it doesn't say two Siddha Swarups, it says one Siddha Swarup. It's Rupa Manjari, Rupa Goswami. My Guru Maharaj, when I said, what is my Siddha Day in Gaur Leela? He said, this is it. Madan Gopal Das, this is your Siddha. I'm in Gaur Leela right now. And my associates, my disciples were all in Gaur Leela. We do Gaur Kirtan, we chant Panchatattva Mantra Kirtan, Hari Krishna Kirtan. We chant Nitai Parakama, Nitai Gudamani Mara. We chant bhajans in Nitai and Gaur. Gauranga Tuti Pada. We're worshiping, we worship Gaur Nitai. Your brother worships Gaur Nitai in his house. He's away to Parivar. It's not us and them. It's Kali Yuga, everyone wants to make, okay, in the black trunks is the way to Parivar, white trunks is the way to Parivar. But come out swinging, guys. No, it's not like that. It's one sampradaya, Gaudiya Sampradaya. We have different families. We're a family, a human race. We're all human beings. We should treat each other like human beings. Some are Russian, some are American, some are black, some are white, some are yellow, some different colored people. Like Japanese, they say they're yellow. I don't know. I don't look yellow. Looks tan to me. Looks like Indian to me. They say Japanese are yellow skin. I don't know. Look at that. He doesn't have jaundice, and so African people are black. But, we're a human race. We're all equal. We're all love. We should love each other, serve each other, help each other. So we're all Gaudiya Sampradaya. We worship the same Radha Krishna, the same Rupa Manjari, the same Alita Vishak, same Radha Kunda, same Giriraj, same Yamuna. Nice question. Kali Yuga. Age of quarrel, fight.
So Maharaj, you mentioned so yoga pit. So if you could you explain yoga pit meditation?
You asked me this before, didn't you?
Huh?
Didn't you ask me this before? Didn't you ask me this question before? Last January or something, that yoga?
No, this is not, at that time not, I don't think so. Maybe I forgot. Anyway, so for the sake of it.
Yoga meditation, the story, Jayananda Dastri, is asking me to explain yoga meditation, but this is not so much a public affair. Yoga meditation is given by some gurus in Gaudiya Sampradaya, not all gurus. By some gurus in Gaudiya Sampradaya, they give Navadvip yoga pit meditation, Vrindavan yoga pit meditation. And basically it's a form of worship of select group of Parishads, eternal associates of Radha Krishna and Lord Gauranga, and also our Guru Varg, our Guru Parampara, and Sakhi Guru Parampara. And there's meditation, there's meditative puja, and meditative prayers, and meditation on the individuals and their location in the yoga pit. And that's enough. It's a detailed process that the Guru will teach the disciple at Diksha when he gets to the Pranam.
Thank you.
I'm not evading the question. I tried to, because I had to. It's why I have five 6-page typewritten description of it. I give my soul. I said, read this for 3 days. I'll meet you. Read this for 3 days and try to understand what I'm saying, and then I'll sit down and describe it to you personally. Right? And I don't know. I don't even know now. You understand? We'll have to have a refresher course. Sit down with you guys. Tell me how you implemented well. I got a midterm exam for you guys. Catch you. Who's faking? Question. Yes.
In Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the beginning, it's written, Sri Radhe pranaya mahimati krishovana. This pranaya means love, or pranaya is a stage. I will continue, because Krishna, in his natural love with Srimati Radhika, they come into the stage of pranaya, they can exchange the role. Krishna become golden and
Praying by word. Praying by word.
and he can call Krishna, Krishna. Krishna starting call himself because he is in mood of Radha.
Yeah.
And when if he is already in pranaya, Sri Radha pranaya mahima, then why he is coming as Mahaprabhu?
The question is why Krishna is appearing as.
Because he has already experienced pranaya in Radha Krishna Lila. What is why I'm asking this word Sri Radha pranaya mahima means more than pranaya or pranaya.
I can't answer that question. Your questions are too high for me. I'm not so clever. It's a nice question. I can't answer it. I'm sorry. Well, maybe you can answer for us.
It's not my question, sorry. My friend asked me, I couldn't answer.
Yeah, that's a question for a good scholar. I'm a pretty simple guy, I just do my little service in the cleanse, and I was given a very simple service to Radharani that handles my intelligent capability. Yeah, the service I do, any 5-year-old can do this service. Doesn't require much intelligence or mental control or physical control. But, that I'm sorry I don't know the answer to that question. It's a nice question. You're saying what is this? Okay, I'll try to ask one of my Shiksha Gurus this question. And I can maybe speak next week. Let me understand another question. The question you're saying, there's this famous verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita that describes the advent of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why he came, Radha Krishna Pranaya Viraktir, and etc. And if Krishna is already, if Lord Chaitanya is already, this is describing Lord Chaitanya's identity. If he's already in Pranaya, what need is there for Krishna to become Lord Chaitanya? Is that what you're saying? Okay. I'll ask you if I get an answer, I'll give it to you next week. Some other question?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, in the Mahabhava stage, there is Mohana and Madana, and sometimes some people say Madana. Modana. What two? Mahabhava is Mohana and Madana. 2 or some 3. And also, could you explain this is a kind of difference if you could? Because many people say like Madanakya Mahabhava, Madana Mahabhava. So sometimes we could not figure out their essence of this Madanakya Mahabhav.
And Mahabhav, there's the Mahabhav Radharani, the ecstatic love of Radharani, described in Mahabhav. There's two states of it, Moha and Madan. Moha is experience in separation, and Madan is in union. But so Madanakya, this particular stage of Mahabhav is when Radharani becomes Madanakya means she gets mad, and it's a state. Mohan and Madan means enjoying with Krishna. He's a personification of Cupid. Moha means separation, like illusion. She goes, he's not there. So Madanakya is also it's a type of separate. Madanakya is a type of separate. It's a type of Moha. Madan Bhav, Mohan Bhav and Madan Bhav. Madan Bhav is the happiness Radharani experience when she's with Krishna, and Mohan is the happiness of separation. It's also an ecstatic experience. But Madanakya is a type of separation. It's called Divyonmad. It's called Madanakya or Divyonmad. Divine madness. And this is described in chapter 47 of the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, Brahma Gita. It's Chitragopa, Udgurna, Chitrajopa, and Udgurna. Where Radharani speaks like to the bumblebee, all kinds of crazy talks, criticizing Krishna and finding fault with Krishna and whatnot. And this is due to the madness of separation. Mada means madness. Kam, Krodh, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. So in the madness of separation, Madanakya or Divyonmad. Divyonmad means transcendental madness. This is the two different states.
Yes, Maharaj is okay. Again, questions. In the Virupaksha Manjari,
Yeah.
I forgot that verse. It describes Radharani's finger. A jewel is there. Radharani's finger.
Yeah,
Some
rings.
Jewel, ring is there. But this describes 7 rings. And the three finger is not ring it.
Excuse me?
Three finger. This finger is not ring. No ring.
Yeah.
And could you explain this? Radharani is like a ring and the finger and the kind of explanation. Sorry, this technique.
Radharani describes she has finger rings, and she wears 7 finger rings. She wears 5 on, it's also in Govinda Lilamrita. She wears 5 on her, Govinda Lilamrita describes also. She has 5 on her left hand and 3 on her right hand. Right? Excuse me, 5 on the right hand, 2 on the right, 5 on the left hand, 2 on the right, 7 rings. 5 and 2 is 7. And these 3 fingers, no rings. That's what it says. And then it says one of her rings is called a signet ring. Signet ring, but it doesn't say which finger she wears it on. Because you're asking what finger she wears the rings on. I haven't read that. But it describes one of her rings is signet. Signet means a ring with a name on it. It says Radha. Like she has a gold ring, it's engraved in Hindi or Sanskrit, Radha. And she shows it to Chandravali. she holds her finger up and it it goes like this. Like she's sitting somewhere on the bank of the Yamuna with Krishna, and Chandravali walks by, gets some water, pick up some water, she looks, oh, that's Radharani. Oh. Radharani moves some hair off her forehead. and holds that hand out, right hand with the ring finger. And then, oh, that's right. There's that ring, Radha. I'm the boss. I'm controlling this Krishna, not you. My love is supreme. I'm declaring it to the world. See, Radha. She burns with envy, burns with jealousy. I haven't read more about specific rings. Have you read anything? Have you read?
No, not really.
That's how I read about rings.
You know?
Like once I asked my Gurudev, Radharani wears a locket around her neck, and Krishna wears a locket around his neck. And inside the locket of Krishna is a picture of Radharani. Inside the locket of Radharani is a picture of Krishna.
Wow.
So I had a question. I asked my Gurudev, what is the picture of Radharani? Is a picture of Krishna has a picture of Radharani. I'm always interested in Radharani. Krishna has a locket, like a little locket, a little round thing you're hanging around your neck, has a little door on it. You open it up, and you see a picture and close it, hang on his neck. It's not, some people wear lockets with a picture of Guru. It's in plastic, you can see the Guru, but this locket means it has a door, has a darwaza closed.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, has one. There's a locket, okay. Who's inside? That's his private affair. That's the mystery. Yeah, whatever. It's definitely yours. So I asked my Gurudev, so what Krishna's picture of Radharani? Is it Radharani's Tribhanga form or full form? He said, no, it's her face. His face is the most beautiful of Radharani. So Krishna always wants to see Radharani's face. Face is the most beautiful part of a woman. Usually they say it like that. So Krishna thinks that way also. So I said, what about Krishna? Yeah, he has a picture. Krishna has a picture of Radharani. Well, Radharani, she has a picture of Krishna. I said, what is that? Is it Krishna's face or his full form? My Gurudev says, I haven't seen that one. He said, I haven't seen my meditation because it's not described what that picture is, whether it's a face or full body or chest and waist up to the neck or whatever. It's not described. So it's not like no one knows. So I asked my Guru. He's seen the picture. He's seen the necklace on Krishna's neck in his meditation, and he maybe cleaned the necklace or something or opened it up, and he saw the face of Radharani. So he told me I saw this Radharani's face. I said, how do you know? I saw it in meditation. I said, wow. So I said, what about Radharani? He said, I don't know. I haven't seen. I said, okay. Tell me if you see it. So that's nice thing. What's the time?
20 more minutes, 25. Yeah, 20 minutes.
Okay. Questions?
So Maharaj, for...
very good.
Sorry.
This is Jayananda Madan Gopal Satsang. Go ahead.
So,
no one's disagreeing.
So for Indian body or someone who lives in Braja, in Indian body is, I think, most fortunate. But someone who has Western body or kind of, outside India, someone who stay, and that devotee practicing Raganuga Bhakti and try to become, Swarpasiti. So if you have some advice for us, because you are so experienced, and so if you give us some kind of hope and some advice, it is very nice.
Questions asked. Some devotees are fortunate, can do bhajan and live in Vrindavan, and some devotees are living outside Vrindavan. Can you give some advice for those living outside Vrindavan to attain their perfection of Sarup Siddhi, to realize their spiritual forms, and attain prema for Radha and Krishna outside of Vrindavan? They don't have the special advantage of living in Vrindavan. How can they attain perfection? But that's what we said before, that wherever you are, there's five ways to get prema. 5 is called the Panchanga Bhakti. Nam Sankirtan, Vaishnava Seva, Thakurji Seva, Srimad Bhagavatam, study, hear, worship, remember, and what's the other? Mathuravasa, to live in Mathuravasa, to live in Vrindavan. So that means Vrindavan, it means living here. But also Jiva Goswami says in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, if someone can't, he discusses this point in commentary, if someone can't live physically in Vrindavan, then they can live mentally and heartfully in Vrindavan. So these five activities are what devotees living in Vrindavan, what they concentrate on, all these things. So living outside Vrindavan, you can also do the same thing. Here is Srimad Bhagavatam, especially this Bhagavatam is a vast book. You should concentrate on the Gitas of 10th canto, Gitas and Gita commentaries. The Gitas, 10th canto Gitas, what are the 10th canto Gitas? Venu Gita, chapter 21, Pranaya Gita, chapter 29, Gopi Gita, chapter 31, Yuga Gita, chapter 35, Brahma Gita, chapter 37, Viraha Gita, chapter 39. Gopi speaking when the Krura is taking Krishna Balaram out Vrindavan. Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. So you read Bhagavatam, especially focus on those sections of Bhagavatam that talk about, the gopis. Vrindavan Lila, 10th canto, chapter 1 to 39 is Vrindavan Lila. So you read Vrindavan Lila and all the commentaries over and over again. So that's the Bhagavad study. I'm going through the 5 limbs of bhakti, explaining how to do these outside Vrindavan to get the maximum result for your bhakti bhajan, to hasten your realization of your sadhya in Vrindavan or out of Vrindavan. And then that's the Bhagavatam. And then Harinam. So when you chant Hare Krishna mantra, you should chant with the conception of Mandri Bhav, which is described in the commentary of Rarasudnidhi by Anandas Babaji Maharaj. The commentary, he describes how Vishwanath Chakravarti, Raghunath Das Goswami meditation when they chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So, because that's one of the 5 ways to get prema and attain Sarup Siddhi, chanting Hare Krishna. So we have to, everything has to be connected to our Sarup. So I'm explaining how to attain Sarup by the 5 methods. How to attain Mandri Sarup by the 5 methods. So chant Hare Krishna Mandri Bhav conception, which is given by the Guru at time of Diksha. The meaning of the Maha Mantra I gave is related to that. And then the Bhagavatam, the Maha Mantra, and the third thing is Thakurji Seva. Shri Murti Seva, Shraddha Seva, should serve the Murti of the Lord with great faith and devotion. Best Murti for Madhurya Bhakti, Ragnaga Bhakti, and Mandri Bhav is Giriraj. Gauranga Shila. Gauranga Shila or Radha Krishna. Or you have a Shalagram Shila, you're worshiping as Krishna. But generally it's called Gauranga Shila, because that's what Raghunath Das Goswami is given by Lord Chaitanya, Gauranga Shila. So worship Gauranga Shila or Radha Krishna. That's Murti Puja. And then Hare Krishna Mantra, Murti Puja, Vaishnava Seva. You should serve the Vaishnavas. And best to serve Vaishnavas that are practicing Raganuga Bhakti. So you be connected, of course that means your Guru. Serving Vaishnavas includes primarily Guru Seva, Vani Seva and Vabu Seva, serving the personal form of the Guru and serving the instructions of the Guru. That's Guru Seva. Vaishnava Seva, the Param Vaishnava is the Guru for every disciple. Param Vaishnava to serve as the Guru. That's described in Sandharas by Jiva Goswami. So Vaishnava Seva is one of the 5 most important things. So be connected to your Guru as much as possible by Seva, Vani Seva, and by Vabu Seva, and also Vaishnavas that are following Raganuga Bhakti. So there's Vaishnavas in Vrindavan, you have your Diksha Guru, and you maybe have your Shishya Guru, so try to serve them as much as possible, and hear Hari Katha from them, associate with them. That will nourish your Mantri Bhava Upasana and developing to attain perfection and prema and Madhurya Rati. So that's Vaishnava Seva, Nam Sankirtan, Srimurti Puja, Bhagavat Shravan, and Mathura Vas. So make your Osaka, Vrindavan, or Fujikawa, or turn Fujikawa into Govardhan Hill. Fujikawa is a mountain in Japan.
Fujiyama.
Fujiyama. Do puja Fujiyama like Giraj. Now Vrindavan, you have Giraj and Tulsi. You have Giraj and Tulsi, you have Vrindavan. It explains in the Padma Puran that anywhere in the earth planet, Tulsi is growing. The earth, the miti, what's it?
The basement.
What's it called? Bartan? Flower pot. What's the flower in flower pot? Gamla. Gamla. The miti in the gamla. The miti is Rajaraj. Says Padma Puran. Wherever it is, as soon as Tulsi is planted in the miti in the right nearby, the earth, the soil, the miti, the clay, right nearby Tulsi is automatically Brajaraj, Brajduli, the dust of Vrindavan. So wherever you are in the world, you make sure you have lots of Tulsi in your house, in your apartment, on your veranda, in your garden, and in Giraj Shila, and that's Vrindavan. So you have Panchanga Bhakti working for you. Good deal.
So Maharaj, sorry. So you are saying.
Hey, who is this guy? We just throw this guy out.
So you mentioned Bhagavata Shravana is say we should read kind of Gopi Gita, Venu Gita, etc. Panchang Gita or maybe seventh.
Yeah.
So that means we have that is Gopi Baba. It describes. So we have
That's Gopis. What else? What can it be? What Gopi Baba?
So means at first we have to become like we become Gopi Baba. Then we have to become Manjari Baba. That you mentioned. Or we have to, we can directly kind of meditate Virapaksa Manjari and.
Now we're discussing the Panchanga Bhakti that are described in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It says Bhagavat Shravan. It doesn't say Goswami Grantha Shravan. They wrote books also. Goswami wrote Savamala. He didn't say hear my Savamala, but hearing Savamala is very necessary for Gopi Baba. That's understood. Because all the books of the Goswamis are simply expansions of the Bhagavatam. How they write what they write, because they study the Bhagavatam and they're gopis and they have directly access to all Leelas. So we're discussing the 5 limbs of bhakti. because devotees practice these inside. Of course, Bhagavad Shravan includes hearing Vidal Kusumanji, Radha Nidhi, Prem Bhakti Chandrika, etc., etc. Rupa Goswami is saying, he's describing Bhagavatam. So I have to follow Rupa Goswami and Jiva Goswami. Their books also give you praying, that's no doubt. But they're not saying that, so what did Goswami say? I have to read what they say. I'm trained like that. I'm not neglecting the Vilakusamanjali. But the Bhagavatam, it says, Duru Adbhuta. Rupa Goswami says, Duru Adbhuta. Adbhuta means amazing. What does Adbhuta means? Amazing, astonishing. I always say, it says Dura, but Dura means very strong, strongly, powerfully amazing. These 5 things, Bhagavad Shravan, hear the Bhagavatam, it's such power. It says Swavam Sparsha, it says little contact, you get prema. So Bhagavatam, that's why they have this Pancham Gita, there's books published in Hindi called Pancham Gita, commentaries on the 5 Gitas of the Bhagavatam. But there's more than 5 Gitas, there's 7 Gitas of Bhagavatam, 10th canto. But they don't consider Mahishi Gita is the Queens of Dwarka, but Vishwanath Chakravarti comments on Mahishi Gita, which is 10th canto, chapter 90. 10th canto, chapter 90, the Dwarka Mahishis, they're speaking in separation, Viraha, and they're speaking praying by Chitya. Praying by Chitya is the type, Radharani enters praying by Chitya in separation, and Mahishis are showing the same thing. So the Mahishi Gita is also on a kuya for Gopi Bhav.
Including?
It's anukulya, I'm saying. Favorable for Gopi. Anukulya, favorable for Gopi Bhav. Chapter 90, there's 12 verses of Mahishi Gita. Vishnu writes amazing commentaries on it, and also other Rasik Jans. They didn't think, oh, I'm a manja, I'm not going to write about this. Right? He got right into it. Okay, I'm not going to look this way. Anyway, have any questions? Anybody have any questions? You had to come over in my eye view. Valentina?
Before you said that the Siddhadeyas that are in the spiritual world and are not activated are conscious.
What's the last thing you said?
The Siddhadeyas that are not activated are conscious.
So unconscious?
No, are conscious.
Conscious.
You said before. So my question is, this Siddhadeya that beautify the spiritual world can see the lila?
I don't know. There's nothing described. Not much detail is described about it. I haven't read anything about it, so I can't comment anything. They're sleeping. They're just like we're sleeping up there. We're sleeping down here. Gee, Jago. I don't know what the question is. The Siddhadeyas aren't activated. They're waiting for a liberated soul to accept them and to become them. Or do they see the Lila? I can't say because I haven't read anything in Shastra. There's nothing in Shastra describing yes or no.
So Maharaj, so which book is this one?
What's this? Questions? Yeah.
My question is what can help me to nurture inside to develop more love and trust for Radharani?
Question is, don't think we should find out. This guy's from Japanese KGB or something.
No. Like I want to, get to this book, so but I don't know.
Side.
You can take the title page. That's
Okay.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. The question is, nice question, how do we develop more love for Radharani? Is that right?
And trust.
Love and trust.
There can't be love if there's no trust. So how do we develop more love and trust? Trust? Love and watch your family and your friends also. He's falling asleep and hitting her nose, He's a brahmachari, she's not, what kind of brahmachari are you? Dude. Hey, dude. Pay attention, So how do you develop more love and trust for Radharani? You can't love or trust anyone you don't know. So you have to know Radharani. So you have to read, so Radharani is revealed and understood and seen and perceived and felt by reading books to describe Radharani. Savamala by Rupa Goswami, Stavavali by Raghunath Das Goswami. There's many poems describing Radharani's beauty and her form and her qualities. And Govinda Lila Amrita describing pastimes of Radharani, and Krishna Bhavanamrita, and Krishnaika Kumudi, and Sankalpa Kalpadruma. All these books I have in my book room. You can go take them for free if you want. You have to read. When you read about Radharani, how beautiful it is, all her qualities. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu describes 25 qualities of Radharani. And then the more you read about Radharani, the more you hear about her behavior, the more you appreciate her, the more you trust her, and how sweet and kind she is to her manjaris and her dasis. She gives her clothes to her servants, she gives her clothes, she gives her food, she treats her servants like her daughters. It's very nice. This is all described in the books of our books. So you have to read a lot and hear a lot of lectures about Radharani. I have a lot of lectures about Radharani on my website, mahanidhiswami.com, audio section. I have folders, Radha or manjaris, all kinds of stuff there. How many lectures? 4,000 lectures? 5,000. Right. I think it's time now. What time is it?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. Any next question? No. No net? Right.
So, and Abideya is combine Abi and Deya. And could you explain the meaning in Sanskrit Abideya?
He's asking me to explain the meaning of the word Abideya, and I can't explain because I don't know Sanskrit.
No, as far as you understand it, the meaning also.
Abideya is generally a simple understanding. It's a practice the method or the practice or the way that one follows to attain a particular destination or a particular goal. It's called Abideya. It's also, Abhideya is also translated as sadhana bhajan. Sadhana. It's also a synonym for Abhideya is abhyas. In the Gita, Krishna used the word abhyas, sadhana abhyas. Abhyas means daily practice of limbs of bhajan. Hearing, shravanam, kirtanam, smaranam, padasevanam, etc. Hearing, chanting, remembering Krishna, worshipping Krishna, vandanam, offering prayers, stuti, stotras, astakams to Krishna. This is all under the category of Abhideya. It's the ways and means to attain perfection in spiritual bhajan, spiritual practice. Sambandha Abhideya. Sambandha means relationship, foundation, beginning point. Foundation. What is the sambandha? Where's the starting point? What is the definitions, foundations, relationships? What is the jiva? What is Krishna? What is time? What is prakriti? What is karma? What is prema? What is sadhana? What is the goal? All that's called sambandha. And then Abhideya is practice, and prayojana means the goal. Sadhana and sadhya. Sadhana means Abhideya, and sadhya means goal, destination, final point. Prem is sadhya, and the sadhana is bhakti bhajan. Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe, Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe.